Alright guys, where we last left off, we had a character that could run left and right and jump, and it has regular old black tiles on the ground. Well, we're going to change these tiles to a different tile set, and we're going to make a little, kind of like a generator to help us put them down faster. First thing we're going to do is do some little housekeeping things. So let's redo our map here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of all these. So delete the floors first off. So you just click one and hit delete and just get rid of all of them, because we're going to be replacing them with some better ones. Alright, and we're going to turn on a couple features. Snap is the first one. If you push S, that'll turn that on, but it's right here in the top left next to the hand. When it's on, it's blue. Push G to turn on the grid, and it's going to give a little white grid in the background. And or you could go to view and hit view grid, and then next to the snap there's the three dots. Click that and go to configure snap, and we're going to do a grid step of 32 by 32. Okay. Alright, so now what that basically does is our character moves on the grid. When we move him around, he snaps to the little pieces as it goes around. Now we're going to make some other changes. We're going to change the size of the window for our 2D game, just trying to make everything a little bit more uniform. So go to project settings in the top left. On the left hand side, top left, you're going to choose the general tab. Scroll down till you see window or display, and then go to window. And I'm going to set the settings. You can just match yours up. For the width, you do 640 by 360. And then we're going to do our test width is going to be 1280 by 720. Turn on, under stretch, turn on the mode to 2D, and aspect is going to be on expand. And you can close that. Now it doesn't immediately change, but if you like click, it'll resize everything. And go ahead and save your world after you've done this. Control S will save it. Your character has nothing to stand on anymore, so now if you push play, he's just going to fall. This next part I've done a couple times, so if we make a mistake, we'll try and fix it during there. But first thing we're going, so save your world. In the top left, next to your little world here, you're going to hit the plus sign, and you're going to add a new node, and we're going to call it, we're going to rename this. This is going to be tiles or something. Tiles. And we're going to add a sprite right here. Blue one is for 2D. And we're going to need our pictures for this. So I've already added it in mine. Basically, I'll give you guys a tile set. So here's one. It's called the jungle dirt tile. So this is the file that I want to put into my game. Here's my game folder here. And so I have the Magnus folder, which has my actual character model in there. Inside of that, you can see all the pictures for him running around. And then I'm going to go up a level. So I have the tiles. So I made a new folder and I called it tiles. And I put my jungle dirt tile into that folder. So then it'll actually show up in my project. All you have to do to get that to come up is just close your game and reopen it. So that's where I'm getting this folder from, the tiles folder. So what I'm going to do is you're going to have to follow along with this very exactly, otherwise your character will end up floating off the ground if you don't get it correct. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to tiles, and we're going to drag the jungle dirt tiles onto the texture. And it's going to give us a big picture of a whole bunch of different tiles, and we're going to set it up to where it works the way we want it to. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to open up the Windows offset and region. So you're going to want to turn off the centered, and that's just going to basically pull it into the bottom corner, and you're going to turn on region, and then everything's going to disappear. It's okay, it really didn't disappear. You just have to tell it where you want the region. Down here in the bottom middle while you're selecting on sprite, you'll see texture region. Click that. And just like we set up the mode, the snap mode before at the top, we're going to do that here. Let's turn on grid snap. The step is 32 by 32. Now we have a grid. And you'll see if we start selecting things, they'll appear for the actual picture of our texture here. So I'm gonna start off with this first top left corner piece here, and what I'm going to do is I've selected it. You just pretty much click and drag, grab that top little corner piece there, hit the plus sign up here, and you're going to do a 2D static body, and you're also going to add a collision shape 2D. Those things can be found with the search feature, COLL, and you're looking for the blue one, collision shape, and then also static, the blue one, 2D. And I have them over here on my recent because I've used them before, and if yours are there, it's because you've used them before. So you're going to need a sprite with that tile on there, a static body, and a 2D collision shape. Now, our 2D shape needs to be a 2D rectangle shape, but we can't just drag it into position. We have to actually set it. So please do exactly this way, otherwise your character is going to be floating. So we're going to go to transform, and the position, we're going to change this to 16 by 16, and then press enter, and that's going to stick that spot right in the center of that square. Then you can zoom in and stretch it to the outside. That should prevent our character from floating. It should just get everything lined up for us. Perfect. So we're going to leave this 2D static body alone, and we've got this and our sprite. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lock all of them together. Use this in the top left hand corner. It's not the lock, it's the one next to it, the double squares. Click that, so then when we move it around they stay together. Okay, now I'm going to rename this floor piece, the sprite, I'm going to call it 0, and I'm going to hide the 2D collision shape by hitting this little eye. Now it's gone. So the shape is still there, it just hides it so we can kind of see what we're doing. So it's in the top left. I'm going to shrink that down, and if you click on it, click on the sprite that you named 0 and push Control D, that's going to make a copy of it, and I want you to drag it over 2 squares, and then I want you to do it again, 2 squares, and then the number 3 square goes here, and you're just going to keep repeating this process until you get a shape that looks like mine, and you're going to see why we're doing this here in just a second. Alright, so we have 9 squares, and if you zoom in on any of them, on the left hand side you just click, you can turn on the collision shape, you can see it's already there, we don't have to keep doing it over and over and over. So select the top middle shape, and what you're going to do is you're going to change the region down here. You can make it any region you wanted, but if you use the top middle one, now it's the middle segment of your tile. Top right, you can use this segment of tile, and then the middle one is just this black area here. The right side is right here, left side is here, bottom this one, bottom corner is this one, and the bottom right. Now, if you didn't want to use the grass part, you could change it to the dirt. But I want to use the actual grass. Okay. So we're going to hit Control S, and this is going to save it. And we're going to do, let's just call it tiles. Well, let's do tiles, I don't know, tiles 1. And I'm going to save. Now it saved this scene. And we're going to do one more thing. We're going to turn this into an actual tile set. So you're going to go to Scene, and you're going to go to Convert to Tile Set. And we're going to call it First Tile Set .tres. It does have to say the .tres on this. Yours is probably blank, so just call it First Tile Set .tres. Hit save, and that saved this set of tiles that we just made. I'm going to leave this open for now, and we're going to go over to our world where we deleted our floor pieces, and we're going to add a new node to the world. So select world, hit the plus sign, and in the search box type tile, and you're looking for the blue one. It's called tile map. Select that and click create. Now you can see the background, the grid is kind of weird. So how you fix that is you go to cell and you change the size from 64, change it to 32 by 32. And now the grid actually matches up with the one that we set previously. And we need to give an actual tile set picture here. So go up one layer, and you'll see your first tile set. It doesn't have an actual picture here with it. That's the one we're wanting to use. First tile set .tres. Grab that and drag it over to tile set, and you're going to see it populate over here on the left. Yours probably looks like that. I've already adjusted mine once. So if you move it to the right just a little bit, it'll make a nice square. And what you can do is you can select the top one, and I'll show you guys how this works. So grab the top middle one and just click and drag across your screen, and you'll see it draws a bunch of floor pieces. If you use the right click, it'll delete the pieces. So left click will place them down, and right click will remove them. So I'm just going to draw a basic floor. Here's my corner pieces here. My middle section. The very floor here. The side. And the corners. And hopefully we got the collision shape correct so I'm not floating off the ground. Let's see if this works. Control S will save it. And we're going to hit play. And alright, our character is standing on the floor and he's not floating or anything. And he can run, he can jump. And just to make it a little bit more interesting, I'm gonna draw a little bit more here. So there's the side part. I'll make this part too wide here. Right click deletes, remember? Square. And then the top piece and the corners. Play. So there's a piece of wall. He can make it up to there. So all right. It looks like the collision on his feet. His feet are actually going into the floor, but that's all right. Cool deal. Alright guys, talk to you later.